Are you a little bit veggie? Welcome to this, the 5th of Granny's GodPods, talking about the killing of animals. Please do press the like and subscribe buttons, thank you. A recent advertisement for vegetarian burgers showed they tasted so similar to the real thing that vampires were eating them and saying, "Ooh, so I'm a little bit veggie." Did you know that the earth began as herbivore and vegetarian? In Genesis, God said, "Behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed that is on the face of all the earth, and every tree with seed in its fruit. You shall have them for food. And to every beast of the earth, and to every bird of the heavens, and to everything that creeps on the earth, everything that has the breath of life, I have given every green plant for food." In the beginning, the covenant of creation had no need of redemptive, substitutionary sacrifice of animals, because there was no sin. But despite being forbidden to eat of the tree of knowledge, the serpent tempted Eve, saying, "You surely will not die." It is true that neither Adam nor Eve received immediate death from sampling the forbidden fruit, but as a result of their disobedience, they were denied eternal life on earth, as we all are to this day. The first animal to be killed was the one God sacrificed to provide clothing for Adam and Eve when they realized they were naked. A sacrifice is something of value that is given up for some transcendent good. This suggests the life of the animal was valued by God, but that he valued Adam and Eve more. The first two human beings on earth were Cain and Abel, since Adam and Eve were created. Abel was a shepherd, and the second animal to be killed was the offering Abel brought to God, the firstborn of his flock. Cain had brought God an offering of the fruit of the ground. These gifts are not described as sacrifices. We are not told why God preferred Abel's offering, and it surely cannot be that God preferred meat offerings to vegetable ones. The Bible does not describe Cain's offerings as the first fruits of the harvest, which perhaps suggests Cain did not put God at the top of the list. As the older brother, Cain probably felt he had more right to be in pride of place, and perhaps thought working the ground was harder work than wandering around looking after sheep. If we put effort and hard work into producing something, and that effort is not appreciated, we can become embittered. We see the effect on Cain in the telling description that his face fell. Resentment is just the sort of weakness that is exploited by Satan. Cain was angry with God as well as his brother, and this led him to an unholy alliance with sin. Abel was a shepherd, as was David. David had to be self-reliant, tough, and able to care for the vulnerable flock, even to the extent of being able to kill a lion with a slingshot. But when Abel was shepherding his flock, all animals were herbivores, so the threat of predation was not the same. Nonetheless, he would still have to be strong enough to manhandle the sheep, keep them to a safe path, and stop them from drowning in the stream when they drank. I think this suggests Abel would not have been an easy target for his brother. It was the elder brother who inherited the father's land, but we see elsewhere that God favours the younger sibling. Take Esau and Jacob, for example. It is the elder brother who should be more secure in his future, while younger brothers would need to move away and make their own way in life. Cain, as the older brother, should have been the more responsible one in expectation of continuing the lineage. We don't know exactly what caused the fratricidal struggle between Cain and Abel, but we see the culmination in the field when we realise that the very first human is a murderer. The clinical psychologist Jordan Peterson says, "This does not mean that a person is either wholly good or wholly evil, but that we all have these different tendencies within ourselves to different degrees." Wickedness spread through the land until God decided to wash everything clean in the flood. Noah was saved because he walked with God, like Adam and Eve did in the Garden of Eden. After the flood, Noah built an altar to the Lord and took some of every clean animal and some of every clean bird from the ark and offered burnt offerings. This is the first altar mentioned in the Bible. Was this a sacrifice of celebration of surviving the flood, an atonement with God, or a bit of both? When God smelled the pleasing aroma, he pledged never again to curse the ground because of man. The rainbow was to be the sign of the new world covenant made with Noah and his offspring and every beast of the earth. Then God instructs Noah to become omnivorous. "Every moving thing that lives shall be good for you. And I gave you the green plants. I give you everything, but you shall not eat flesh with its life, that is, its blood." Jesus certainly ate meat, and meat was a big part of hospitality and also used in celebration, as when the fatted calf was killed on the return of the prodigal son. Nowadays, we are all encouraged to be a little bit veggie with our 5-a-day challenge. But after the flood, we are no longer to continue as herbivores or vegetarians. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.